Specially flattened teeth at the back of the jaw crush and splinter shells. In the turbulent waters of the North Pacific, shellfish are taken by the oldest and most aquatic of the otters, the sea otter. Indeed, it's so specialized to water, it's very cumbersome on land. They've evolved a highly original technique to crack open the shells of their prey plucked from the seabed. Each otter tends to specialize on one particular shellfish. As it returns to the surface, it removes a favorite stone from a fold of skin under its armpit. It will smash the shell on the stone. Small shellfish can be gathered with a single dive, but need a lot of cracking open. A large abalone, on the other hand, may take up to 14 dives to dislodge, but it's easier to open. Sea otters have evolved huge lungs and can stay submerged for up to 5 minutes. Extraordinary for such a small mammal. The sea otter's evolutionary reward was to be able to plunder deeper and deeper depths. The sea otter has ridden on the crest of the wave for millions of years. Highly specialized, it has survived in troubled waters. But in the last 100 years, it's been pushed to the limit, unable to adapt fast enough in a world dominated by man. Escaping to the wilderness has given some otters a better chance. But when it's the frozen waters of the north, the freezing water just adds to their problems. Small bodies lose heat fast. One solution to their heat loss might have been a thick layer of fat, but being podgy didn't suit the otter's athletic lifestyle. But millions of years ago, one early otter-like ancestor sacrificed maneuverability on land for a warm lining of fat and gave rise to the seals. "28 million years ago, while the early otters were dipping their toes in the water, in the forest of Eurasia, a land-living ancestor was adapting to chase prey through the treetops, across the ground, and under the ground. The first known underground killer was a specialist on one species of beaver. They lived in a complicated corkscrew burrow. But this weasel suffered the consequences of having all its eggs in one basket. When the beavers went extinct, their killer went with them. The flip side of being a specialized predator is likewise rather tragically illustrated today by the black-footed ferret in North America. It has only one prey, the prairie dog. The ferrets used to live, hunt and breed in the colony of prairie dog burrows. A century ago, there were countless prairie dog colonies, and the black-footed ferret probably flourished. Now the prairie dogs are decimated by man, and the ferret is almost extinct. That's the trouble with being a specialist. The same prototype weasel that gave rise to the ferrets also evolved the long, thin body plan for use in the treetops. Today, the martins are still the masters of treetop hunting. By far the most acrobatic is the pine marten. Polecats brought the marten's body shape down to earth. Smaller and more tubular, they weave their sinuous body with apparent ease through impossible undergrowth and across every terrain. They're ferocious, all-purpose hunters, feeding on small mammals, frogs, birds, and eels. And their shape, combined with their smaller size, also opened up a new killing field. Underground. It's a tight fit for the rabbit, but not for the polecat. Despite being larger, the rabbits have little chance once the polecat's got their scent and has them cornered. Nearly all weasels can kill animals several times heavier than themselves. Relative to their own body weight, they take much larger prey than do, say, the biggest cats. A lion would have to tackle an elephant to match the weights involved in some weasel attacks. But the story of the long, thin body plan would go through one more dramatic change. 5 million years ago, the climatic upheaval that changed many other carnivores revolutionized the weasels. The northern forests were being replaced by grasslands, prompting an explosion of burrowing rodents. The tubular weasels were just the right shape to take advantage of the new bounty. They simply had to get even smaller. Stoats evolved less than 2 million years ago. They give birth in the spring to make the most of the summer glut of small prey. The mother raises the litter unaided. She has to catch up to 6 times as much food as she would normally need to feed herself. But she's perfectly adapted to the job.